For months now, a single name has been hinted by Blizzard again and again, but until recently we knew almost nothing about the mysterious Sombra. Well, thanks to some newly data-mined information, as well as some clues put out by Blizzard themselves, we finally got some real concrete info on the background and type of abilities that they'll have. So strap yourselves in, because today we're going to take an in-depth look at everything we know about Overwatch's upcoming hero, Sombra. Something you guys might not know about me is that I absolutely love ARGs, which are alternate reality games. They're basically when developers leave clues towards future updates, heroes, and characters in a ton of cool different ways, and then leave it up to the community to decipher those clues. The last big ARG I was part of was done by Valve for Meet the Pyro. Yeah, that's a few years ago now. There were weeks of awesome puzzle solving, clue hunting, and code deciphering, and it really brought together the entire community. Well, it looks like Blizzard might be starting some ARGs of their own, and seemingly with the goal of giving clues towards the next upcoming Overwatch hero, Sombra. Now, last week in Ana's origin story video, a code quickly flashed on screen, and this was deciphered to read the message, "She who has the information has the power." And then in the past few days, we got a new clue. At the end of Jeff Kaplan's most recent developer update regarding Ana, there was this strange few seconds of footage right at the end of the video. Now, at a glance, these three pictures look just like a quick bit of TV interference, or maybe an editing mistake left at the end of the video by Blizzard. But inside these pictures is, in fact, a hidden message. I'm not going to go into all the detail on how it was decoded. If you're interested in seeing how it was done, I'll link a really great detailed post in the description. But to give you the basic version, first, the lines in this image were translated into a barcode. When read, the barcode spat out a binary code, which is a series of zeros and ones. That binary code was then plotted as a series of black and white pixels, which in turn created this QR code. When read, the QR code displays this message in Spanish. Now, just for fun, and so everyone can make fun of me in the comments, I'm going to attempt to read this in Spanish. Estuvo eso facilito. Ahora que tengo su atención, déjenme se las pongo más difícil. Which roughly translates as, was that easy? Well, now that I have your attention, allow me to make things much more difficult. So, it would seem that that's the end of the first ARG, but that message definitely hints there are more and harder puzzles to come. I mean, I think it's kind of a miracle that people are able to solve that initial clue so quickly. It's kind of amazing that when people just come together with some kind of crazy puzzle, they can accomplish some pretty awesome stuff. But the clues that we have for Sombra don't end there, because people also found this mysterious image at the end of in-game ability videos. Now, while some people have suggested that this is just a distorted version of this picture of Soldier 76, a lot of people are also saying it could be a distorted image of Sombra. It definitely would be a bit strange to put a secret hidden image of an existing hero at the end of these videos, so I'm really hoping that it is in fact the mysterious upcoming hero. But still, there is more, and these are probably some of the coolest clues we have yet. Through a mixture of in-game pictures and some data mining of the PTR's audio files, we can get insight into the type of hero that the mysterious Sombra will be. Now, first and most obviously, let's take a look at the name. All of Sombra's current communication has been in Spanish, so it's pretty safe to assume that her nationality will be Spanish. Sombra in Spanish translates to mean shadow, and this, coupled with how all her current messages have been heavily encrypted, would seem to suggest that Sombra might just be Overwatch's very first stealth hero. And thanks to a few smart people who data mined the Overwatch PTR, there's even more evidence to support that theory. Take a listen to these voice lines, which, as yet, aren't being used by any of the heroes in-game.
Something's not right.
Something's not right.
Something's not right.
I sense the presence of the enemy.
No, I can't see you, but I know you're there.
Someone's lurking over here.
Now to me, these sound a lot like something you'd say to alert your teammates of an invisible hero in the area, in a similar way that you can alert your teammates about a spy in TF2. There are even more voice lines which seem to reference an enemy being detected, which you can hear now.
Enemy detected.
Enemy detected.
Enemy detected. Be on your guard.
Now, I've been thinking a lot about these voice lines, and while it's pretty obvious that they're referring to some kind of invisible enemy, it's pretty interesting to note that they don't specify any hero in particular. If the invisibility was only applicable to Sombra, it'd make sense for the heroes to make a more specific reference to her in their voice lines. But they don't. They keep it generic. This makes me think that maybe, just maybe, Sombra's ability is one which can be applied on any allied hero to make them invisible. Just the thought of an invisible Reaper sneaking into the middle of an enemy team to suddenly death blossom in the middle of a massive group is terrifying. I don't know if that's exactly true, but it's definitely food for thought. So tell me what you guys reckon down in the comments below. So, we know that Sombra means shadow, we know that she likes to speak in code, and we know that heroes have been given voice lines referencing some kind of camouflaged or invisible stealth hero. We can also guess that Sombra is in fact a villain, as Reaper has a voice line triggered only on Dorado which says, "Where's Sombra when you need her?" Probably suggesting that she's a member of Talon. Sombra seems to have a pretty strong presence on Dorado, with several computer terminals saying "Access not authorized Sombra protocol," as well as there being a number of classified files with her name on them. So there you go, those are the main bits of information we have on Sombra right now, a Spanish stealth-based member of Talon who is associated with the map Dorado. Now, given the recent burst of new clues, PTR voice lines, and the start of what looks like to be a pretty meaty ARG, my personal guess is that we'll see Sombra make her debut at Gamescom this year. Now, while Gamescom is on in just a bit over a month, which would be a pretty short time frame in which to release the next new hero, Blizzard generally has a pretty massive presence at the event, and also generally makes some pretty big announcements for each of their titles. Either way, from the looks of things, we're in for some pretty interesting weeks of puzzle solving, so get your tinfoil hats and get searching. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated if we get any new big bits of info about Sombra, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But as always, thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you legends in the next one. Bye bye.